Welcome to Gongwer's 2016 Michigan Elections app. The latest information on what's happening in elections in Michigan this year at the state and federal level, as well as the analysis from Gongwer News Service, which closely follows these elections. You'll see here on the main page we have a choice between primary and general. You're going to want to stick with the primary option until after the August primary. And you'll see here we have 5 options. Presidential primary, which is March 8th, U.S. House, Michigan House special elections, and the Court of Appeals. If you go to Michigan House, you'll see we have 3 options within there. Let's pick candidates. And you'll see here we list off all the districts in the Michigan House, all 110. Let's pick the first district. Now you'll see here we have geographic information about the district, a link to the map of the district, a link to our analysis of the race, and then also the candidates who have filed so far. Let's pick Keith Hollowell. If we go to Keith Hollowell, we'll see we have a photo here of him, links to his Facebook pages, information about his campaign committee as well as contact information, a link to his campaign finance data, and biographical data about himself that he's supplied, as well as data from Gongwer's database about when he has previously run for state or federal office. That data goes back to 2002. If we go back to candidates, and back to this page here, you'll see we have the other candidates who have filed to run so far, and we'll be updating these going into the April filing deadline. So, if we go back to home, back to primary, back to Michigan House, and we go to analysis, you'll see here we have a color-coded system where we've divided all 110 Michigan House districts into either any of these 5 categories. We also have an overall analysis of our assessment of the race for control of the Michigan House. You can see that's right here. If we go back to analysis, and if we pick strong Democratic, for example, you'll see here for that first district, here's where we see what we see happening in that race so far. Brian Banks, you'll see, is the incumbent. He hasn't formally filed for re-election yet, and he's the favorite there, but he has several challengers in the Democratic primary so far. And if you cycle through, you can see any of the other districts, our analysis of where we see those races. So now if we go down to the bottom here and we go back to analysis, we go back to elections, back to Michigan House, and we pick key races. Now we've sorted out for the primary only the districts that are going to have competitive races in the primary that we know of. A lot of these races will be non-competitive and candidates will automatically advance to the general election. But you'll see here all the races at this point that we see as ones to watch in August. And we'll have a separate list for the general election. If you look here, we have Michigan House special elections. And you can see here the 3 races that are going to have general elections on the March 8th ballot. And it appears we're going to have at least a couple more special elections later this year, so that'll be the way to follow those races. A new feature we have on the app this year is our search feature. This allows you to search for an individual candidate without having to go through the individual districts. So for example here, if we type in Hollowell, which is the candidate we just looked at, he shows up right here. Tap his name, and there he is. And you can search by geography as well, county and hometown. The great thing about the Gongwer app is we'll be updating it all year as candidates continue to file leading up to the April deadline. We'll continue to add candidates. As the look of the races changes, we'll continue to update the analysis. Thank you for watching our demonstration.